Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Bobby coming at you from the grocery store once again. And the last time we were here, we talked about chicken eggs, and we broke down all the different kind of eggs you should buy and what you should avoid. Judging by the comments section of that video, you guys want to know about chicken because once again, there's a wall of chicken here, just like the eggs, and there's so many different kinds of chickens from organic, air-chilled, free-range, cage-free. What does all that stuff mean? So I thought we'd go here and actually break it down, and I want to tell you basically the kind of chicken you should buy, and more importantly maybe, the kind of chickens you want to avoid. Let's start with stuff like this though. This sign right here, cage-free. It's a marketing gimmick. No chickens for consumption are kept in cage. That's illegal. The only caged chickens can be for eggs. So when you see that, it doesn't mean anything. Let's do another one right here. No hormones added. It's been illegal since the 1970s to add hormones to chicken, but they put stuff like this on the label because it looks good, makes you feel all warm and fuzzy inside, and you buy it. So keep these out of your mind when you're going to chicken. I probably want to start over here with like the worst kind of chicken you can buy. So this is like the generic chicken that has no labels on here, like air-chilled, antibiotic-free. This is the cheapest kind of chicken you're gonna get for chicken thighs, whole chickens, and boneless, skinless chicken thighs. The problem is, it's also the lowest quality you're gonna buy. So these kind of chickens here are the ones that are packed into the hen houses, or what I call the warehouses. They're like scary dark warehouses that have no windows, and there could be up to 30 to 40,000 chickens in one of those warehouses. The standards and the environment are really bad there. We're talking about like chickens that are big and fat, stuffed in, they have their beaks trimmed off, and if it doesn't say it on the package, 100% vegetarian feed, that means they're eating a diet of animal byproduct, poop, sewage, and really, really bad stuff. And also, I don't know if you can see this, but these are the biggest chicken breasts mankind has ever seen. That's because there's a very disturbing trend going on in the chicken industry for the last 80 years, where they're breeding the chickens to be ginormous, like incredible hulks of the chicken world. Just from the 1970s until now, the size of broiler and roaster chickens, the kind we eat, have gone up by 3 times. That's because they want chickens that have huge breast and huge thigh meat so we can eat it. The problem is they can't support that weight. So oftentimes they're in these dungeons of the warehouses, their legs can't support their weight, so they're sitting there being sedentary, lazy, and not even moving. That's the kind of meat you're eating that has no flavor and the texture is really soft and chewy, which is why I would avoid that kind of basic chicken meat. Now, let's talk more about labeling stuff here. Take a look at this. It's very, very popular to see air-chilled, no water added. And that actually is a very important thing because there's 2 kinds of chilling you can do after you slaughter a chicken. You can air chill it, where you just hang it in a cold room. That's the best. Or you can do water chilled, which these guys are. If it doesn't stay air chilled, it is water chilled. And that means they take that meat, or they take the whole chicken, they dunk it in a cold pool of water. And the problem with that is it soaks up a ton of water and moisture. It dilutes the flavor and the texture of the bird, but it makes it look big and fat and huge just like that. You don't want that. So always look for air chilled. Always look for this right here too, fresh. But that means it was never frozen. Anytime you start freezing chicken and then thawing it out, it affects the texture. And if it doesn't say fresh, that means it could have been frozen multiple times, which really affects the texture of the chicken, so I would always go away from that. Now, let's get into some of the chicken that I would highly recommend buying. I would go for organic. Okay, it always is gonna cost a little more money, but when you're getting that organic chicken, that seal, that USDA seal really means something. It's not a marketing gimmick, right? They've had access to the outside and you don't have to worry about them having that horrible feed that has byproducts and poop and sewage. It's a 100% vegetarian diet, meaning they never eat GMO soy and corn, something really important that these guys, the regular ones, are eating. Now, let's bring in my friend Paul, because you guys loved Paul's 2 cents from last time, and he's going to do a little more investigative research here about chickens.
Yeah, so when I buy chicken, I like to think not just about whether there's hormones or antibiotics, but the factors that affect the health of the chicken. And you really have to think about the farm and the overall health of the farm workers. So let's look at pastured versus free range. Pastured really means how many feet do the animals have to roam? And free range really forces the chickens to be cooped up in a more confined space, which causes their beaks to have to be trimmed, which also causes the animals to be more chronically stressed.
Right.
Acute stress is okay because that's natural stress where the animals are subject to let's say, inclement weather or predators, but the chronic stress really affects the health of the animal.
And the flavor and texture, right?
And
too?
of course the flavor. I mean, this is Flavor City.
Yeah, so. That's right. Any animal that has a lot of stress,
of course,
it's going to affect the quality of the meat and the flavor and the texture.
Absolutely. When the animal is pastured, the manure is deposited all throughout the farm, which gets into the soil, which affects the overall health of the farm, and then the farm workers' health is affected because the farm workers are in confined areas where that manure is being deposited in really small spaces, and that's not really good to be around that too much. So overall, you really want to think about where is the chicken coming from and what conditions is it subject to.
And what Paul was saying about finding pasture-raised chicken, while you can get eggs, like Vital Farms, here at the grocery store, it's 100% impossible to find 100% pasture-raised chickens here at the grocery store. So there's a website called eatwild.com that I'll put down in the description box. You can type in your zip code and you can find locally sourced pasture-raised chicken near you. And it's not that hard, right? You can always find them at farmers markets.
Yes.
You can find them at co-ops, like in Chicago, Dill Pickle. It is more expensive.
Yes.
But if you can afford it, try it out because the nutrition is much better, the flavor's better. But just once again, keep in mind, at the grocery store, you cannot find pasture raised. The best you can do is organic, free-range chicken. So if you're here at Walmart, I would say pick up, where'd I put it? This one here, the Harvest Land organic chicken. It's actually pretty good quality. If you're at Aldi, I would say pick up the Never Any organic chicken. If you're at Costco, I would say get the organic Kirkland chicken. If you're at Whole Foods, you can get either the 365 brand organic, or there's one in Chicagoland called Pine Manors, which is very high quality and has access to the pasture. But we'll put all that info down below. One thing I want you to always stay away from at the grocery store is the rotisserie chicken. So they're never using a high quality bird. They're always using the lowest quality one that is crammed into those warehouses, eating the bad feed, the bad conditions, all that stuff. You really should make your own at home. And I have recipes and videos for how to make the perfect chicken breast 3 different ways and how to make chicken thighs 3 different ways. I'll put those links down below because it's really easy to roast your own chicken thighs or make your own chicken at home. And it's much better than buying the low quality chicken here. So that's it. Paul and I are done. What should we do next? Maybe beef?
That could be it. There might be a Teach Paul to Cook series, which I'm very excited about. Well, actually, I know how to cook, but there's just a few extra things that I need to learn.
Yeah.
So Bobby might be helping me, and you might be seeing me on the About section of the Flavor City website. We don't know for sure. I just have a really good feeling about it.
Big thanks to Paul for hooking us up with this 2 cents. All that information down in the description box will help you out finding the best quality chicken around you, but we will see you very soon. Until then, hashtag keep on cooking and mad love, and good thing we didn't get kicked out of here. Another one for us.
Mad love.